right, welcome ladies to today's training. Today we are going to be covering the topic of momentum over motivation and talking about why motivation is BS, what actually creates results, and the science behind the why. Going a little bit into inertia. Let's dive right into it. If it lets me get to the next slide. Next, there we go. All right. So, ladies, motivation is a feeling, not a strategy. Motivation is emotional. It comes when you watch an inspiring video, or you start a new program, or join a 4-day challenge like this one, or you have a good day. Things are just going well that day. Or you're angry at yourself, or you buy new workout clothes, or we hit a breaking point. But motivation disappears fast, as I'm sure we have all experienced. And this happens when this happens, oh my God, words are so difficult today. Because what happens when you're tired, you've had a stressful day, your kids are overwhelming, you've slept terribly, work was chaotic, you're bloated, you missed a workout, or you just don't see the results fast enough. Most people quit. They stop here. And not because they're incapable, but it's because they've built their entire fitness journeys around feeling motivated. And feelings change daily. They are unpredictable. If elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and disciplined people only acted when they were motivated, they wouldn't get the results either. So they're not any different than you. They're not lucky. It's just holding this identity, right? Momentum is what actually changes your life. Momentum is built through action. And like we were just discussing earlier with Naomi, it was just like the moment we do something, it starts to propel us forward. So we've got the wrong equation here. Action creates motivation far more often than motivation creates action, right? When we think about the amount of times that we've shown up and done the thing, how much more momentum and how much that's propelled us to staying consistent versus all the times that we've waited to be motivated and then watching that dwindle super quickly. So most people think that it's motivation, then action, then results. But it's actually action, momentum, motivation, results. And then we've got a little diagram of some good old high school physics with our linear momentum, which we'll be diving into a little bit later here. But the power of the small wins. Small wins create evidence for yourself, and evidence is what creates your identity. So every time that you show up tired, that you finish the workout anyways, that you drink your water, you go for a walk, you hit your protein, you restart after slipping up, you are actually proving to yourself, I am someone who follows through. And eventually you're going to stop asking yourself, how do I stay motivated? And instead you start becoming the kind of woman who does the thing that she said she was going to do. And one of the things that I really want you to ingrain in this is discipline is freedom. And I've had to really shift my focus around this. And just to before we go into this, I'll give a quick life example for myself. So lately I've been struggling with FOMO, fear of missing out. And I'm sure some of you ladies can resonate with this one. And lately I've had a lot of really cool opportunities presented to myself. But I've had to hold the discipline in saying no right now because there are things with deadlines that need to be done. And as much as I want to say yes to all of these things, and I feel frustrated because I'm I wish I just had the freedom to be able to do both. That's not reality. Reality is those things need to be prioritized. And until those things are done, once I stay disciplined and get the things that are necessary finished, then I will create more time for freedom in the future, where once I tackle the thing, I will be able to organize myself so that I can say yes to those activities, so I can schedule them in. That is going to be ultimate freedom. And that's kind of where you can use this in terms of our health and fitness journey too, with being able to use discipline in the way that we nourish our body, the way that we commit to a structured program and show up week after week and progressively overload. That will give us the freedom to enjoy a body that is strong and energized and capable and confident and limitless, right? So people hear discipline and think that it's restriction or punishment or suffering or pressure, but real discipline is actually self-respect. It's saying, I deserve to feel strong. I deserve energy. I deserve confidence. I deserve to take care of myself. And in my instance, for my example, it's like, I deserve to show up and prioritize the things that need to get done so that I can create more presence when I go and say yes to the things I want to do. Because if I actually went, I would have been stressed out the whole time, knowing that I should have been doing something else, right? And so discipline isn't a punishment or restrictive, although it might feel that way sometimes. We're trying to dissociate from the feeling right now. It's keeping the promises to yourself long enough to build trust with yourself again, and it's going to open up endless opportunities for growth. How to, oh, someone's unmuted, which I think might be Miss Pamela. So I would suggest taking a screenshot of this page here, how to build momentum. This is some of the main things that we are going to implement moving forward. Number one, this is one of the things I tell my clients all the time, and I'm sure some of them can say, attest to this, is the first thing. Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can mute her on my end. Mute. There we go. Perfect. All right. So number one is lowering the bar instead of quitting. So you hear me say something's always better than nothing, right? Or show up and just do your warm up. Show up and just do one exercise. And oftentimes just showing up, that's the hardest part. Once you get there, oftentimes you end up doing more than what you put on the bar. And then you feel like you've overexceeded yourself, right? Versus showing up, having this huge like to-do list, and then only doing half of it, and then feeling discouraged and feeling frustrated like you're a failure. So if we lower the bar, then we can exceed it. And so if you can't get your 45-minute workout in today, do 10. You can't meal prep perfectly today because you can't get to a grocery store and you're low on groceries, something, or make one better choice that day. Find one thing that you can add to your day. Something beats nothing at all, every single time. Stop relying on your feelings. Your feelings are temporary. Your goals require repeated action, whether you feel inspired or not. You do not need motivation to go for a walk or drink water or train or prep food or show up. You need a decision. Like, you brush your teeth every single morning. Do you feel motivated to brush your teeth every single morning? Probably not. But you made a decision that you value dental hygiene and that you don't want your breath to stink. So now we need to make a decision that we value our health and fitness, and we don't want our body to not perform to the max of its capabilities. We don't want our mindset to be in the shitter and then affecting everything, the way that we see life, right? The way that we show up for our family, the way that we snap on our kids, the way that we're irritable with our spouse. Like, if we're always sitting in those feelings, you feel out of control versus making a decision. Who do you want to be? And it's going to be a conscious decision, repetitively, day in, day out, multiple times a day. You're going to get pulled back. You're going to have to redecide. What do we want? How do we want to show up? And then focus on winning today, not 6 months from now, not 30 pounds from now, not when life calms down. Today, momentum builds day by day, brick by brick, right? We got to build the foundation first, and then we got to lay one brick at a time. We don't start from the roof down. And then we got to build the identity-based habits that are required. Stop saying, I'm trying to lose weight. Start saying, I'm becoming someone who takes care of herself. I'm becoming strong. I'm someone who follows through. Identity drives behavior. The truth about success is usually doing not breathe, the repetitive, boring work. It's not constant motivation or perfect routines or never missing or always feeling inspired. It's when it's repetitive, it's resilient, it's consistent, it's restarting and getting back up quickly when we notice that we get knocked off our game. It's stacking those small wins. I know I had a client the other day ask me, she's like, how do you do it? Like, how do you stay motivated all the time to get your workouts in? And I'm like, girl, I hardly ever feel motivated to get my workouts in. And she's like, what? Really? Like it's been this long and you still don't feel motivated? I'm like, fuck no. Like we are intrinsically designed to not want to spend energy. And so every day your brain is going to try and trick you to not wanting to go and do the thing, even though logically we know when we follow through and do the thing, it gives us more energy. It boosts our dopamine. It boosts our endorphins. We feel great when we show up, but then we find ourselves in these patterns where we avoid it for days, weeks, months, or even years. And so we have to really decide that the women who succeed are often not doing more, they're quitting less, but they're also getting back up so much quicker when they do fall down. They're not letting a slip up identify the rest of their life, right? If I mess up, I'm not like, oh, well, I'm no longer a personal trainer because I didn't perfectly hit my macros today, right? Like, this is a part of my identity. This is part of who I am. And without a concrete definition of who you are, you're going to be constantly wavering between what you want and what's comfortable. All right, the law of inertia. Let's bring you back to high school physics. And a quote that I really like by James Clear from the book Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it already, I highly, highly recommend. The more you move, the easier it is to keep moving. I want to drill this into you. The more that you move, the easier that it is to keep moving. Have we ever noticed when we're in a good momentum and we're crushing our workouts and things are going good that it's easy to keep showing up? And then the moment we miss a day or two or three, it gets so increasingly more difficult each and every single day that we skip our commitments. And so inertia is the tendency to stay still if you're still, or keep moving if you're already moving. In physics, it means that an object resists change in motion. And an example of what this might look like, and an example I use a lot with my clients, is a parked car versus a vehicle in motion. And so let's say that you need to like put your car into neutral and you have to push it somewhere. That initial like getting the vehicle moving and getting the momentum going takes a lot more effort than once the vehicle is actually moving. And then it's pretty effortless, right? But it doesn't mean that the road is always going to be flat either, right? If it's flat, it's going to be pretty easy. When it's going downhill, we're not even pushing it. It's just going on its own, right? We're kind of maybe chasing after it. But then once we hit an uphill battle, that's where it starts to get more difficult, right? It starts to require more of that energy where we're having to push up that resistance. And this is exactly what happens along our fitness journey. As we get that inertia, it takes a while to get it going. And then once it's going, it feels pretty easy. And then we might even hit that downward slope where it's like, okay, we're crushing it. And then, oh, we've got the uphill, and then we throw in the towel. And we just like, we let go of the vehicle and we let it sit there rather than continuing to push through and getting over that hump, getting over the imaginary speed bumps that we create for ourselves. And in real life and in personal growth, inertia explains why it feels hard to start, but it's easier to keep going once you've built momentum. And your habits and your brain are naturally going to want to continue in the direction that you're already going. So negative inertia, staying stuck. Positive inertia, momentum. And that's why the hardest part is usually not the workout or the walk or the habit. It's literally just showing up and starting. And that's why I do challenges like these. And so if today's training has resonated with you, it's probably because deep down, you know that you are capable of more. But you've been stuck in the cycle of relying on motivation to get you started or to keep you going. And that's the exact reason why coaching exists, to help you with consistency, with accountability, with momentum, with confidence, and with sustainable habits that actually fit your real life. And so if you are done relying on motivation and you are ready to finally step into the woman who follow through, send me a message with the word momentum and let's set up a quick chat so we can dive a little bit deeper in terms of what that may look like, continuing to work together after this challenge, and how I can set you up for success with a crystal clear roadmap so that we can really continue this momentum one brick at a time together. And before we get to questions, of course, we've got homework, ladies. Take a screenshot of this page just so that you have it here and you don't have to write it out. But I will be posting the slides afterwards as well as the live. But 3 journal prompts, that is your homework for today that I want you to go post in the group, is number 1, where have I been relying on motivation instead of momentum? Where have I been relying on motivation instead of momentum? What dream would you can tell I'm typing these and I don't even double check. It doesn't have autocorrect, so that's not my excuse. What dream would I finally go all in on if I actually trusted myself to stay committed and follow through? And what's one way where you can start to build or start to rebuild that trust with yourself today? Today, make it a commitment. Let's keep this momentum going, ladies. Action produces momentum. Motivation often comes after starting, not before. Go post your biggest takeaways in the group, ladies. And do we have any questions? And I'll stop sharing my screen and I'm going to end these lives. Doop, doop, finish, finish, and stop sharing. And love that photo of you, Lucy. Oh, thank you, Naomi. Thank you. Alrighty, ladies, the floor is open for live Q&A. Do we have any questions, whether it is related to today's training or the challenge or anything health and fitness related? The floor is open for you. Thank you for another inspiring training. Oh, thank you, Bailey, for attending, even while at work. I love that commitment to showing up to the live trainings. Questions going once, twice. I'm in the bath, so I'm scared to in case the video comes off. Don't want to scare you all, but I definitely learned a lot in this session. Jess, what would you say was your biggest takeaway? Also, I'm so envious that you are hanging out in the bath right now. That is the one thing that my van is missing, that I am committed to figuring out a solution for my next build. It's the only thing that this is missing. I just need a bathtub or like a hot tub, preferably a hot tub, because then I wouldn't have to fill it every day and waste a bunch of water and it would just already be full. So stay tuned. I'm going to figure this out. I need it. It's encouraging that even when you struggle, you always seem so high energy, and it's a good reminder that we are all human. Yes. Yeah. Like, everything, like, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy how much, like, we all struggle, but we assume that the ones that are successful don't struggle. And that's just simply not the case. Those that are on a path to success that you see as a result that you want, the only difference between where they are and where we are is that relentless consistency, right? And getting back up quicker and quicker and quicker each and every single time, versus every time we hit the speed bump, we just stop the vehicle. Instead, we just like slow down, go over the hurdle, and then we can regain momentum, right? We can regain that speed. But if every time we see a speed bump, we just stop, and then it takes us forever to just like slowly come over the hump, then that is why we're getting stuck. And being able to like get these visuals and relate them to our lives, I find it can be a helpful way to like see the comparison and apply that to our lives. But thank you. Thank you. And again, it's a decision, right? It's an identity. I choose to identify as someone who is happy. I choose to identify as someone who has high energy. And is it true that I feel happy and high energy all the time? No. Like my sleep last night, garbage. I had a lot to do and I had to sacrifice sleep in order to meet some deadlines. And now I'm sacrificing my energy today. But I'm also the type of person who decides I have energy. And so even though I might not have 100% energy that I would with a full night's of sleep and all the things, I'm still going to do what 100% is, even if that's only 80%. And something that my therapist actually said to me this morning was that, how did he say it? Do you need to be happy to smile, or do you need to smile to be happy? Is happiness smiling, or is happiness smiling, or smiling happiness? And the way it's like, if you smile, you naturally feel happy right away, right? If you smile at someone else, oftentimes they smile back. It's contagious. So being able to choose and have this choice of the action, I could choose to smile, and naturally it's infectious. Then I feel happy. Then you feel that energy. Now you feel a little bit happy, right? It's spreading that sunshine, but it's a choice, because I could decide I'm so tired. I got so much to do. I'm so stressed today. And that's not going to be very impactful on anyone. No one's going to feel motivated. I'm just like, yeah, it's just so hard. Um, I have never heard someone say lower the bar. Oh, we live by that, girl. Like the amount of times lowering the bar for myself has allowed me to show up more often than trying to raise or like show up to the bar that I set for myself. So it's like if I say I'm gonna show up and do an hour workout, but I've only got half an hour between clients, I could either my old justification and excuse is I don't have enough time to get a full workout in. So what's the point? I'm just going to move it to tomorrow so I have enough time to do the whole workout, and it'll be way better than me just doing a half a workout today. But in reality, life happens tomorrow, and then it doesn't happen because I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time, so I push it to the next day and the next day, and that's where we end up not following through on our word. Versus if I say I'm going to lower the bar, I'm only going to do half an hour. All I have to do is my warm up and one exercise. That's a win. And if I'm able to do more in that session, now I've even exceeded my expectations. Yes, literally a psychological experiment is to smile at yourself in the mirror, and it's proven to improve mood. Yeah, totally. Totally. It's a huge boost. Or even like the high five habit that Mel Robbins talks about, and high fiving yourself in the mirror, because we have years of conditioning that when we high five one another, it's always in celebration. Good job. Well done. There's no memory in which we have where someone high fives us and we're like, you suck. You did awful. You're the worst. Right? Unless like it was a joke and it's funny, but like again, like nobody is high fiving and criticizing you at the same time. So our psychological our loop with what a high five means is celebration. And so like with Mel Robbins, she says to high five yourself in the mirror so you can visualize yourself high fiving yourself. I personally don't love this because I'm like, I don't want to get my fingerprints on my clean mirror, and I don't want to like break my mirror by like actually high fiving it. So it just like didn't resonate with me specifically. But what I'll do instead is ideally I can look in the mirror and I can give myself a high five, or I can even give myself an overhead high five, which is even more energy. Or if like, let's say I'm on a walk and maybe I'm like getting in my mind, or maybe I need to hype myself up. I'll just start clapping, like, let's go, right? And hype myself up, give myself the high five. And if you're feeling down on yourself, you can give yourself like, hey, you did the thing, high five. Good job. Give yourself a pat. Physically, why not? Not just the mental pat. Hell yeah, good job. Fuck yeah, you killed it. Celebrate yourself. You are your number one best friend. You were given one human to take care of for your entire life, right? Yes, we might have kids. Yes, we might have spouses, and that they require us to show up for them as well. But this is the number one human that you have a 24/7 duty to attend and show up for. No one tells us that when we move out from our parents' house, that we are now given the responsibility of being a parent to this human.
I've been teaching my kids that actually.
Yeah,
I've been
she's got
telling
them
them
ready.
the older you get, mommy and daddy aren't here to help with you. You need to learn how to do these things to care for yourself.
Yes, that's so empowering. It's necessary. And that's what's going to set them up for success long term, right? I can't tell if
Yeah.
Victoria's going for a run right now or she's running away from someone, but the speed at which you're going right now looks so fast.
I'm almost late for pickup. So
That'll do
I
it.
walked
Yep.
from my house to my daughter's school so I can get my 20 minutes in.
Hell yes! Look at that commitment. Even as a busy mom, she found a way to sneak it in while killing two birds with one stone. Amazing work, Victoria. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna let you go though because I think she's
Yeah,
standing outside.
sounds good, Miss Victoria. Shoot me a message with your email later today, and I will send over that Amazon gift card. And then, ladies, homework. Make sure that you go post your homework in the group with those 3 journal prompts. Make sure that I'll go post those in the group as well so that you have them just in case you forgot to take a screenshot. Go post your biggest takeaway from today's training. And then if you are interested in coaching going forward after this 4-day challenge, shoot me a message with the word momentum so that we can continue rolling into the summer as the strongest, most energized, and confident version of ourselves yet. Stay tuned for tomorrow as we will be announcing our grand prize challenge winner. Looking forward to seeing you all crush the rest of your day and finishing this challenge strong. Thank you all so very much for joining me during this challenge and for the last live of our challenge. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much if you're watching the replay as well. And I look forward to hearing all of your wins and successes going into the summer. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful days, ladies. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.